how would you articulate your evolution of understanding God? Like, of course, we spoke to how futile it is to try to describe the ineffable.
Yeah.
But if you were to put it into words now.
But it's also the most intimate thing in the world. I remember it was Krishna Das who said, it's what's looking out your eyes right now. Or it's not what the eye can see, it's that whereby the eye can see. So it's the act of it, or Paul said, we live and move and have our being in Christ, right? So Christ meaning awareness. So it's simultaneously, and this is straight Rupert Spira, it's impersonal, which means ultimate reality does not know subject to object. So it's not somewhere watching this podcast like other people might be. That's kind of a lonely thing when you consider that God doesn't really know about us, but it's that's how I understand it now. It can't stand apart from us. So it's impersonal, but it's intimate. It couldn't be closer to us. So what I like to say now is I believe in God, but I don't think God exists. Like, I don't think you can go somewhere and find something and stand apart from God and go, there's God. I knew you existed. And God would point back at you and go, there's Andre. I knew you existed. I don't think that's how it works. The metaphor that I like, which Rupert uses, I think Ramana Maharshi uses, is the screen, that we live and move and have our being like characters in a movie, and God, for lack of a better word, is the screen, is the knowing screen that we are on. So it kind of works in a couple different levels. The screen doesn't know what's happening in the movie. The screen isn't affected or changed by what's happening in the movie. So that can be a little lonely. There's a mourning when you consider that you've sort of lost that traditional help me find a parking spot relationship. But then you also realize, like, what are you talking about? It's all you. There's only screen. So the metaphor that I really love that Rupert uses is the actor John Smith, who's playing King Lear, and John Smith's ultimate reality is the one knowing. But he dresses in King Lear's clothes and he does the play King Lear, but he gets so lost in it that he forgets that he's John Smith. And backstage, he's still upset about his wife and the war with France and all this is all Rupert. Then somebody comes back and says, why are you miserable? And he's like, I'm upset about the war in France. He's like, no, you forgot who you are. So God is sort of impersonal, but also it's what's active. It's what's giving this life. It couldn't be closer. All those stories that you hear about people that leave their homes and go on journeys around the world looking for enlightenment, and then somebody says it's back, or looking for gold, let's say, it's not usually enlightenment. They go back to your house and look in the basement. There's a million stories like that. Go back to where you were, and you realize what you're looking with is what you're looking for. So the idea of God somewhere else, something else that you can find is absurd. With that with which you're looking is the thing. And that's step one. Then step two is to investigate the nature of that knowing. And it's like the space. This is also a Rupert metaphor. It's like the space in this room. It's transparent. It's at peace. There's no agitation. There's no lack. So it's happy. It's not happy in the sense that you feel happy. It's happy in the sense that there's no lack. So you realize that there's this background that's always with you, that's at peace and that's happy. And in that, these other, like ink in water, appears. You're mad at your dad or you're stuck in traffic. But the background of it is your true nature, and you can dip and retreat into that at any moment. That becomes the mystical experience. That's not just a belief. That's me when I'm going to hit traffic on the way home. That's me in traffic on the way home going, there's nothing missing here. There's nothing missing here. That's the good news. It's all right here. There was nowhere to go. You can't become what you already are. You can't go on a journey looking for what you already always were. You are always the sun. That's good news.
It's great news.
It's great news.
Yeah, because it's something that is immediately verifiable within everybody's experience too.
That's right.
Like when you speak to the background awareness, which knows any experience is happening, that is the same within you, that is the same within me, and the same within everybody listening right now. You can check in on that and verify that. So is that what you're referring to when you mention God, that
Yeah.
same place that is within you, that
The
is within
self.
us?
Yeah, God, guru, and self. We're not a big guru culture, but God and self. Now, we don't go around and say, I am God. That's kind of just a ridiculous way to phrase it. But you say the eye with which I look at God is the same eye that looks at me. There's only one eye. I and the Father are one. That experience, so interesting to think like, and I did, like Jesus was one with God, but somehow there's a perimeter around me. Like I'm somehow sustaining myself apart from God. Rupert's always really funny with that. He's like, that's actually blasphemy. It's to say I am somehow self-sustaining and someday I'll merge back with God. It's like you're saturated in it right now. But that self is one of my favorite ways to kind of explore it. And this is what Rupert is so good at, is it's the most obvious hidden thing in the world. And it takes, for me, it's taken a lot of repetition to go like, what do you mean? I like the empty room. I'm like, this room, the space in this room, it's the same space as outer space. And when these walls are demolished, the space will be the same. That's like the death of the room. But what are you talking about? It just reunited, even though it was never separate from the rest of the space. But it'll have the appearance of a death and a rebirth. I like looking at the quality of this room and knowing that I'm like that space. But one of the ways that I like to play with that, and this can freak people out, but I find it to be quite comforting, is, I can hear your voice. It works better with your eyes closed. I can hear my own voice. So funny. And then you say something.
What up, Pete?
Okay. So that appeared in the same place that my own voice appeared. I know that's so obvious. I really resent that you have to be stoned or on drugs for this to be interesting. It's so interesting. My voice has a different quality because it's sort of muffled because it's in my voice. And then I hear you and I kind of, based on the volume, my brain makes the story that you're over there. But even like then we get into feelings. Like let's say I'm feeling anxious. I'm not, but let's say I am. I'm feeling that. In the same kind of naked, spacious, aware field comes a feeling. Let's say it's excitement. I'm excited to be talking to you. That emerges in this same space-like field. The sound of my voice, the sound of your voice, the feeling of excitement. Then I could touch my legs. That feeling, that sensation appears in the same space-like place that your voice, my voice, and a feeling appeared. Then we can bring in a thought. I can sing happy birthday in my head. So now I have happy birthday playing. I hear your voice. I hear my voice. I feel the feeling. I feel the excitement. It's all appearing in this same borderless, boundaryless, space-like field, for lack of a better. And then you realize everything is kind of a story, meaning like if I hear a bird, it also appears in that, but it's distant. So I'll go, it's way over there. It actually occurred within me. It was literally within me. And you start going like, when you can really dip into like, what we're doing when we do this is playing with where is this thing we call awareness and what is it? Is there a boundary to it? Is there a place where it stops and it's not on the other side of it? That's a good one. When I hear a bird, it sounds like it's far away, but it actually couldn't have been closer to me. It's made of me. The sound of a bird is made of the knowing of it, which is what I am. And then you go over and over and over with meditations like that, and you start to realize, okay, there isn't something somewhere else, somebody else called God. The whole thing lives and moves in this one knowing. And like, cups of water in the ocean, or maybe it's better to say waves on the ocean, we all have the illusion, the play. My daughter's name is Leela, which means the play of the universe. The play of the universe is, I'll pretend to be this one, you pretend to be that one. You can be something for me to love or to forgive, or you can be something, we can make art, or we could learn, or we could whatever. We could do nothing, whatever you want. But like, we're going to play. There's a Bird Talker lyric, we're one wind distracted by our different sails. So we're all these different sailboats, but we're all propelled by the same win. And then you start to realize when Jesus said, I and the Father are one, he wasn't saying Jesus Christ of Nazareth is one with the Father. He said, I and the Father are one. I think that's very deliberate. I. And when I say I, it's the same I, because it's the only I. Because if there were multiple I's, that now we're dividing God, and that's actually blasphemy. As opposed to people say you shouldn't talk that way, that's blasphemous. Like, it's actually blasphemous the other way.